Thank you very much, Laudanjan, for inviting me to speak here today. As we saw in the video, this was not the first time, nor the last time that such atrocities have taken place in Iran. It is a continuing process since the 1979 revolution. The foundation of such a process, which has taken lives of thousands of Iranians in the past 42 years, was laid on the roof of a Rafah school in Rome, the residence of Mr. Khomeini from the first days of 1978 when he came back. The trials of many of the Shah's leading lieutenants, ministers, were initially heard in classrooms. One of the first attendees, one of the first ones who was executed was Mrs. Farrokhru Parsa, the first woman who became minister in Iran, Minister of Education. One of her crimes was prostitution, just because she advanced the equality, equal rights, and human rights for men and women. All these trials failed to meet international standards. They were presided by a cleric. They came to be called death commissions. They sometimes lasted as little as 1 minute. And the executions on the school rooftop usually followed immediately. Since then, human rights groups have documented men and women hanging from cranes, dissidents assassinated abroad, intellectuals murdered at home, raised mosques belonging to clerics advocating separation of mosque from state, demolished cemeteries and places of worships of Baha'is and other faiths, ethnic minorities being gunned down, burnt out university dorms, and the scars of torture on the bodies of those who dared to object. These are all well documented. These are in papers, and this is what you saw in that video. The United Nations Special Rapporteur on Human Rights, Mr. Javad Rahman, has issued reports about and complained about and expressed his deep concern about the lack of accountability at the government's denial of responsibility and the lack of transparent, independent, and prompt investigations. The Special Rapporteur is also concerned at the high death numbers of death sentences and executions in Iran, including for acts that do not amount to the most serious crimes and following unfair trials. These he interprets as those involving intentional killing. He is alarmed by secret executions, the continued execution of child offenders, the harassment and detention of human rights defenders and lawyers for the exercise or defense of human rights, including being detained through prolonged detentions and new convictions. He is alarmed at reports of executions and enforced disappearance of ethnic minorities and political responsibilities. Mr. Mahalati's current work at Oberlin is about friendship and peace studies. Peace is born when truth opens the gates of reconciliation. How can there be any peace or reconciliation when there is no truth at this time? At no time has Mr. Mahalati used his unique position, either when he was at the United Nations, nor since, to draw public attention to these crimes, nor has he publicly criticized the Islamic Republic for all this criminal activity. Instead, he has issued statements and delivered speeches denying crimes, refuting the extent of executions, and disputing the validity of the names provided in the reports. Oberlin's College Conservatory Synergy, as it states on its website, inspires profound connection between intellectual and artistic exploration, theory and practice, creative freedom, and professional discipline. Oberlin says that it aspires to be a place for those who seek a rigorous education with integrity and purpose, designed for impact. one of your programs is learning in labor. You say it's just not your motto, but it is in your practice. And now, with the case of Mr. Mahalati, you have a golden opportunity. Oberlin is not the first academic university in the United States to employ Mr. Mahalati, but you have the opportunity to start an investigation, an open investigation, talk to the families of the victims, and allow your student body, allow those who are interested to attend. Let this be a public hearing. That is the least that you can do. And President Ambar, it is your decision, and I hope you take the good decision in favor of human rights, for knowledge, and for open access to information. Thank you.